Now, with US-China relations taking a sharp turn for the worse, confirmation by the US government this week that China's net holdings of US treasuries had declined by $34 billion in December has taken on greater significance.
That's right. China's holdings of US treasuries, which are key to financing the ballooning US budget deficit, have fallen 5.7% from their peak in May last year. Now, if this is a sign that China is reducing its holdings, it could have serious consequences for the economies of both countries.
If the US can't find anyone to borrow money from, experts say it will have to raise interest rates to make its debt more attractive. This will make it more expensive for the government to borrow money.
And consumers who are still reeling from the economic downturn will have to pay more on their mortgages and credit card debts. This in turn could reduce consumption, endangering the economy's recovery.
But analysts say China may also be reluctant to sell its US debt. While some have suggested that China may use its holdings of US treasuries to retaliate following disagreements over sensitive issues like Tibet, Taiwan and internet freedoms, any abrupt sell-off would be very damaging to China's economy.
For one, it's in China's interest that the US economy recovers. America, after all, is a major destination for Chinese exports.
Another important factor is the Chinese currency, the renminbi. The US accuses China of keeping its currency artificially weak to boost exports. The value of the renminbi is still closely tied to the US dollar, so a lot of China's trade surplus with the US has to be invested in dollar-dominated assets. Analysts say if it tries to diversify its assets away from the US currency, pressure will build for an appreciation in the value of the renminbi.
So, with so much at stake for both sides, there are doubts that the reduction in Chinese holdings of US debt is a sign of a long-term trend.
Analysts say there is also evidence that China is shifting its holdings from short-term to long-term debt, which would indicate confidence in the future of the US economy. And experts say the US may not be too worried as long as any slack in demand for US treasuries from China is taken up by other countries. Japan has already overtaken China as the biggest holder of US debt.
So, despite the latest data, the economic fundamentals remain the same. The US still needs to borrow large amounts of money to support its weakened economy, and China still needs to find a safe home in US dollars for its massive foreign reserves.
Even with all their disagreements, it seems there is little the two countries can do at the moment to reduce their reliance on each other.